everybody, welcome back, welcome if you're new. So this is all about coming along with me as I get ready for Easter. Usually on a lot of the holidays I have between 11 and like 13 people. So this year here, for different reasons, I'm only going to have 6. So it's not bad. So I'm feeling a little lazy this Easter. But anyway, I'm going to have ham. I was going to do mashed potatoes, but I'm going to change that to potatoes and like a carrot medley. Okay, so I bought these. I'll cut all these up, mix them in with carrots, and roast them in the oven. I'm going to make my homemade applesauce. You're going to come along with me as I do that. So ham, the potatoes and carrots. We're going to make some homemade applesauce. And I'm going to do some green beans. Oh yeah, they're in the fridge. And I don't know if I'll boil them all the way and then put them in a pan, but anyway, I'm going to add some butter and some almonds. Nothing fancy. I've actually wrapped them with bacon once. Oh my goodness, they were delicious. You do like a bundle of 3 with the bacon wrapped around. It's to die for. But feeling a little lazy this year, so we'll do green beans and some almonds. I'm not sure if I'm going to make my own bread. I usually make like a Greek sweet Easter bread, but I may just buy some bread. And for dessert, I'm going to make a lemon trifle, okay? But I'm going to make my own angel food cake. So guys, I don't know, you've probably made trifles before. The bowl isn't real big. It's an average, small to average trifle bowl. But the angel food cakes were like this big. I'm like, is that going to be enough? Then I feel like I'm being skimpy. Guess what? I'm going to make my own. I've never made my own, but I'll use a tube pan and it'll be a lot bigger, I think, right? So I'm going to try that. But it's a lemon trifle. And you know, sometimes it's nice. You can put blueberries, raspberries, make it real spring-like. But I'm going to make a different one with lemon Oreos. You're basically layering the angel food cake. Pound cake is really good, actually. Layering the angel food cake, and I think they have you crush some of these. And the whipped cream, of course, and the pudding, and you just keep layering it. And then you put a couple of the Oreos on top. I'll try to insert a picture somewhere. So I'm going to try that. Something different. I can't make that dessert too early. It'll get soggy, as you know. But I can take you along. I got to set the table, very basic. It's just, so it's me and my husband, my daughter and her husband, my little grandson, Jack, my son, and his girlfriend is not able to make it. She's going to be with her family. And I'm going to get my mom, bring her over. So there'll be 6 of us. So small crowd compared to what I'm used to. So I'm just going to kind of make it, you know, easy on myself. So it should be okay. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna bring my crock pot upstairs and we'll start on my applesauce. Okay. All right, so usually for a bigger crowd, I usually buy 2-3 pound bags. And I did, because leftover applesauce is always a good thing, but you can make it just with the 1-3 pound. I'm known for my applesauce. You know how you make something special and you're just known for it in the family? This is one of them. So I wanted to buy Max or Cortland. They didn't have it, and this is Fuji. So I actually Googled it because I get mixed up with all the apples, like what's a good bacon apple, what's not, and they said it was good. So, and you can use one of those corers, but every time I use it, the apple's so hard, I can actually cut it before I actually get the corer down, and I just kind of, you know, and I can do it over the crock pot, but I just kind of chop them like this. But I'll put it on like, I don't know, 4 hours. So I kind of go back and forth with cutting over that and just cutting on the board. I don't know. It's just old school. It's just how I've always done it. All right, so this is the 2-3 pound bag of apples. And this is what they look like, all cut up in nice chunks. So we're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar, you know, and then a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to mix it up. And it really comes out perfect every time. I have a nephew that says, Auntie Heidi, I'm not coming unless you make your applesauce. Because I make it for Thanksgiving and Easter. You know, I almost forgot, actually, that I had to make it for Easter. I've got it on 4 hours, and that's all set. For the holidays, I always put on my table protector and then a tablecloth. My everyday is not a tablecloth.
I always usually have a runner, sometimes placemats, but I would say 99% of the time I put a runner on there. Get my tablecloth, put that out. It was a little wrinkled, but I find that the wrinkles do fall, and I'm going to put the runner down the middle, so guess what? You can't even see it. I don't think my kids will complain. Do you? Centerpiece is going back on with the candlesticks. If you've been following me for a while, you know that Frank and I sit on the counter, so this table really isn't used that much.
All right, so we have our centerpiece. Maybe I'll change it, maybe I won't, but the food will be on the table, so I just keep it simple. So when everybody comes, all 6 of us, right? They see the table, the centerpiece, but then we take it off for dinner. And this is a realistic tablescape, is what I call it. So I brought these upstairs. I thought they were a little more spring-like, so we'll put these out. Nice thing is, my husband doesn't have to put the leaf in the table. He'll be thrilled. We have 2 leaves, actually, which we use for Christmas Eve and Thanksgiving. It depends. We have a different amount of people each time. And I'll fix the chairs later. I kind of pushed them aside so you guys could see. These are my everyday dishes, which I love. I'm going to be very sad when I have to give them up. They're like a creamy yellow. Look at the scallop. So these are, if you're around my age, Chris Madden. She represented, I don't know if that would be the right word, JCPenney. It's JCP Home. You know how they have like a designer for their stores. And that was many years ago, but I just always love this dish. And they're getting kind of bad. Some of them are worse than this because of the dishwasher, but who hand washes the dishes every time you use them? I don't. So we're gonna use those, nice and yellow, nice and spring-like. Put those out, and I've got some green napkins over here with some gold rings. I thought this looked pretty. It's a beautiful, kind of like a sage green, I guess. And on the yellow plate, I think it'll look fine. You can be fancy too and stick some flowers in there and this and that. I'll tell you what I wanted to talk to you guys too about. Don't give yourself a hard time if everything's not perfect. You're not doing some of the things you usually do. I'm telling you, now that I'm retired, I say, how did I get things done when I was working? And that's what a lot of retirees say. When you're working, if you're watching this, it's really hard to get things done. I used to get a little bit anxious. I'd be at work and I'd be thinking, oh my goodness, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Give yourself some slack, would it be? Give yourself a break. Don't worry if maybe you do a certain detail with your table every year and this year here, you're gonna go a little easier. You know what? Time is very precious. When you're working, you don't have a lot of time. And so if you don't do a beautiful centerpiece, you do it a little bit different this year. Or you're not going to be fancy with your napkins and get a flower in there, or a little bunny, or a little carrot. Actually, that reminds me, I've got a little carrot I can put in these. I just thought of that. I think I did that last year. That'll be cute. Do what you can. And you know what the sad part is? I've talked to my friends a lot about this, and family members. Sometimes we're so particular and want everything so perfect. Guess what? A lot of times people don't even notice. They don't pick up on a little bit of, all the small details you do. And it's okay to go a little easy on yourself, all right? I'm just having 6 people. I'm not gonna go crazy. It's gonna always look nice. But maybe, and even as far as the baking and the cooking, maybe you don't do 5 side dishes. Maybe you do 3 side dishes. Maybe you don't do, 4 desserts. Maybe you cut it down to 2. It's okay, okay? It's okay, so don't be too hard on yourself. I'm retired, so what's my excuse? I'm slacking a little bit here. But we'll have to play with that. I think the little carrot in there will look cute, and I'll put the silverware. I might have to iron these. These are very wrinkled. But I think that's gonna look like a beautiful table, nice and spring-like. and I'll finish that up and show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, of course there's more things to add, but for now, this is my tablescape. Stuck in the little carrots just to break up a lot of the green. And you know, sometimes I'll put salt and pepper out or the butter dishes, but that's kind of last minute. This is just getting things done a little bit early and getting them out of my way, even though I have plenty of time. But anyway, you can get those at the dollar store. If you need something last minute, go check it out. They might even still have some left. Now we're just gonna make the angel food cake. Like I said, I'm surprised I've never made one of these before. It's pretty easy. I was looking at the directions in the back, and actually you're just adding water, so it should make it nice and easy. I'm gonna be pouring mine. They don't want you to grease it, like I think I mentioned. I'm gonna put mine in a 10-inch tube pan, but you can also use 2 9x5-inch loaf pans. So very interesting. I'm very surprised. In all these years of my baking, I've never made an angel food cake. But anyway, you're adding 1 1/4 cup of water and just mixing it for a little bit on low speed, 30 seconds, medium speed for a minute, and then putting it in your pan and baking it immediately. And don't be jealous of my old Pyrex bowl. I have some nice bowls, but they're kind of fragile and chip easy from Home Goods. And so these are always my standby. But anyway, we'll get this mixed up, put it in our tube pan, and get it in the oven. Okay guys, very strange. Apparently you let it cool on a glass bottle, or I forgot what else they said. You could probably do it another way, but anyway, I found an old Good Seasons jar, so I'm just gonna let it cool. I think it said for like an hour and a half, obviously, until it's cool. Guys, I am so excited. My first angel food cake out of how many years of baking? But look how big it is. I'm surprised they don't have you know, spray the pan, because it really did stick quite a bit. I'll have to really soak that. But look at how big that is compared to the supermarket one. Supermarket one was maybe 6 inches long, and something like that, and it was like $3.99. This cake mix, I think it was $4.99, but well worth it. I mean, it's huge. So I'm very excited about that. And guess what? I might even have some extra. Here's my applesauce after 4 hours. Can't wait to eat that. All right, everybody, we're gonna end the video here. I would have loved to have made that dessert with you, but that really has to be made last minute, because the angel food cake, of course, would get very soggy. So, of course, there are other things I have to do before Sunday comes, but I wanted to get this video out before Easter, and I didn't want to put it out after Easter. So, thank you for coming along with me. And like I said, go easy on yourself. Usually for holidays, sometimes we have 3-4 desserts. Christmas is really different. We have a lot of stuff. But you know what? Small crowd this year. 1 dessert should be plenty. And sometimes when you make too much, don't you find that nobody wants to take anything home and you're stuck with everything? So I hope you enjoy your holiday, and I hope to see you soon. See you later. Have a great day, everybody.